Republican Nick Langworthy is running for a second term after being elected to Congress in 2022. Democratic challenger Thomas Carle is a former plant manager for food and beverage manufacturers. Our news director Jim Turpin asked the candidates about the top issues on voters' minds, as shown in a recent poll by our sister station, Pix 11 and The Hill. Here is just some of what they had to say.
So what's the answer? Is the economy good or bad shape, and why do you say that?
Well, the economy's in very rough shape. I mean, you see that every single day. I talk to constituents every week in the grocery store. I still do the family grocery shopping because I think it's very important to be in touch with people in our district. We have a affordability crisis in America, and it's really pinched the middle class here in the southern tier in Western New York the most.
The economy is actually doing very well. When you take unemployment's down, wages are up, stock market's up. Every time you look around, things are on the up and up. But inflation actually started back in the Trump administration with an unwarranted tax cut back in 2017 that we all witnessed. And then you take the mishandling of the pandemic, creating a supply and demand issue. It's not engraved in stone anywhere that there's going to be price controls that get anywhere close to socialism. But, you know, I know you guys like to throw that net word around, socialism, but if you're going to throw socialism around, I'm trying to run for this position to prevent fascism, because what we have is a runaway president that my opponent totally endorses.
Congressman.
It seems as though that my opponent's got a little case of Trump derangement syndrome. The vilification of President Trump is ludicrous. His policies worked. The country was going in the right direction, and the Chinese unleashed a virus on the world that took the entire globe to its knees.
When it comes to housing, President hopeful Kamala Harris has plans to, increase housing supply and rental units. It's part of her plan in her opportunity economy.
We need to get the regulations diminished greatly in New York in particular. As I've met with home builders and realtors, I mean, we have an inventory problem. We don't have a demand problem. There's plenty of people that want to buy a house in New York. They just can't afford to. We have a raging inferno at our southern borders. President Biden has taken 94 separate executive actions with Kamala Harris at his side, weakening the southern border. It's a willful decision. They chose to open the borders. And we have 10 million illegal encounters across this country. We have 2 million people that are gotaways. We don't know who they are, where they are, why they're here. There's people from 160 different countries in the world that are here, and we have thousands from the terrorist watch list that have been apprehended.
And I think I'd be stronger on the border than my opponent, because initially I would be the one who would have signed the bipartisan agreement that we recently had proposed. And it came down from very conservative people in the Senate in conjunction with the House, and that got stopped by President Trump. So when my opponent says he wants to be tough on the border, he is nowhere near as tough on the border as I would be.
Well, you can watch the full debate on our website. That is mytwintiers.com. Election Day, Nick, is just 25 days away.